show a adesua wom, political show a emudo, Mark Jerry, any the torchlight, ayase epono ene mpontre. Se Mark Jerry OSEI AGYEMAN etnasi, ewo the torchlight jumedi ewo NEAT 100.9. Na unim se, ebuna den numre, yawa den numre 7:30 biano, radio so de, political show a adesua wom, political show a emudo, Mark Jerry, any the torchlight, ayase epono ene mpontre. To be faithful and loyal to God and my Lord, I place myself to the service of the Lord with all my strength and with all my heart. I promise to walk in thy esteem, a heritage won for Torchlight Jumedi and we meet 100.9. The Torchlight Jumedi and we meet 100.9. Torchlight Jumedi ewo NEAT 100.9. Wotie the 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 Torchlight Jumedi ewo NEAT 100.9.
Yeah.
Wotie the Torchlight Jumedie ewo NIT 100.9. Wotie the Torchlight Jumedie ewo NIT 100.9. Wotie the Torchlight Jumedie ewo NIT 100.9. OSEI AGYEMAN and with the Torchlight Jumedie so.
able to confirm for us that your presence here at the party headquarters is for the disciplinary committee hearing?
Yes, exactly. I'm here because of that. I received a letter yesterday on my way from the gym, which I assumed was a weekend. Legally, weekends and public holidays are not days properly so-called to serve someone any official notice. But I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm a lawyer of 23 years standing, and I know what is proper. So when I received the letter, no, it's just 1 day notice. I'm here to appear before the disciplinary committee. So I'm going up, and when I'm done, probably we'll talk again.
Oh, meaning you've not met anybody yet?
I just got it.
Haven't you heard of information that meeting has been suspended?
I haven't been personally served. You know, when you set a precedent, which is that you serve me to appear personally, which was yesterday, I haven't seen anything with my security guard as they did yesterday that tells me that anything is being postponed.
But for clarity, you may have heard, but officially you've not been notified of it.
I haven't heard. I got it yesterday, and I've been with my colleague lawyers in my law firm trying to prepare to be here. So whatever you're talking about, I think that I should have been served personally, and I haven't received any such notice. That's why I'm here.
Like you said, when you climb upstairs and there's nobody there, what are you going to do? Are you going to bounce back?
Let's not preempt. It's rather a premature question. It's moot at the moment. Let me get upstairs, see whether the committee members are there, if there's any other party official here to talk to me, if there's been a postponement or whatever. I don't know, but I've been summoned to appear.
Something that this process is selective and also an attempt to gag you.
Let me go upstairs, and then when I'm done, I'll come back and talk.
Thank you very much.
Stay dry and fresh with Nivea Dry Dew. Keep moving.
Jerry OSEI AGYEMAN Jerry OSEI AGYEMAN etnasi. Ewo the torchlight committee ewo neat 100.9. Now when you say ebuna den nure, yawa den nure 7:30 beyond. Radio Soyed, political show at the school, political show at the door. Jerry ended the torchlight. I say a
and green transition. Currently, my vision is simple. I want all the 1,346 containers accounted for. 1,346 containers. Whatever it takes, I'll bring those containers to where they ought to be. Mr. Speaker, let me set the record.
Jerry OSEI AGYEMAN. And with the torchlight
Professor will listen to me. There's not been any inconsistency. At the transition committee, Honorable Yarga was there. they gave us a figure of 3,000. Then they told us it had incurred demurrage of 1.5 billion. I was sworn into office on the 17th. On the 24th, I visited the harbor. At the harbor, I was told the containers were 2,500. That is what aroused my suspicion. I didn't say at the harbor that the containers are 2,500. I couldn't have counted 2,500 containers instantaneously. And so from 24th, I went to brief the president on 27th. And by 31st, I had established this committee. There was media coverage. And we took Professor Senyo. He's a chartered procurement expert. The report was submitted just this week. It was during the presentation of the report that the committee told me that contrary to the figures they were giving you, over 1,300 containers cannot be accounted for.
Asasi ya mudimu kwa tu enanwumre yama wakwa ba edeba dwumadi ayefre no eye torchlight ya yede brew ye benada ne yawada bia ene yede dwumadi yede brew ene eye benada ene se wo hwe eye ye Canada no so a otumu se enano kwa na ekofori so bosome ene ye wo mi ne da etoso wotwe eye ne yatena se ye the torchlight ye the brown with neat 100.9 ye baba bedi komodi afa eye ye manga na ho ye manyo semo a ye aya na brano ensamba beto o manga na mu a na nsemo no aye deja baby esi ye de nsam ne fa na ka ye simple no asa so mamu ne ha na ya shedaw aya na se eye dien yo aya na se maintain no mani biasio na yede nsam no wada yede wada ade achi a we ba beka ne sei ade achi na we nso aba beka ne foforo ade achi na we aba betumutuo eda foforo na esimese nso ede ne dia aba behwim we ni gina na amanyo sema aya na ye ne ntia wo it is asamba beto ho substantively no ya address it na mum dia ye ne se ye de ye partisan politics ni wuramu a no bi a twe ne sere ne abasa ye partisan politics ni de wuramu a na obi a twe ne sere ne abasa etu obi abeka ne de se de ne de obi abeka ne de information no se free ni de mu na eba authentic information. Oh my children. Say fini di ame na eba na free baby na eba. Enye papa. SMS so send the say free mu na eba. Authentic, very authentic no dey aba beto ho. Efro bi di ame so na eba dia. Ono so say enye papa. Actuated by politics. Some na beto wa your political actuation. Obia beka ebe favor no no oka. Eto go bi so say masa your politics so. Asam no credit da hopa o. But the see ebeka tro say masa your politics so. Politics in the sanity. Politics in the sa pepe ne say no. Edo bo say asan beda wa. Adan beda wa na omemu no na ye twe ne sere ye twe na basa na ye twe ne sere na nsentrofo na ye di akire na ye keka bom na ye di kwayenim de ese ye ne ye twaso ne ye ntwaso ntem na ye keka bom na ye keka bom sa na ye de ko na ye di kwayenim eti eba ne sa ne so anaye so aba betena akire ne abo akire ahwe na ye bisa ye ho se ensame ekoswei enchiremu ne sen say ye kasai drug trafficking the allegations made by Reverend Intim Fojo allegations are odemaye ni nyina ada ho ye hwe saranso ena de abemu panifo so ka de anakokfo eka ade so beto wei Ghana Airport Company Limited wo ho nakokfo ensu wo ho Narcotic Control Commission ede na wo moka abemo panifo anu yi omode ababeto ho Reverend Tim Fojo nso ne die ono so de ababeto ho sese no kra na ne die ade simple na ye de dane ho ade na simple e betima ka asem no ameto atwa ba ne ye de dane ho. It's a Ghana Airport Company. Wamu asemi wamu nimu chefebiana. Ghana Airport Company Limited. It's a simple say Ghana Airport Company Limited. Wamu betron krata no mdia to abonten. No maka say yes. Wamu ne ma ho kwan. En wamu permit yes ewiem hyen ya yekeka ho asemi. Amo malande ye. De wamu nie. enya no anka ansem na to ntwai Airport Company Limited, Ghana Airport Company Limited, GACL. Woma truck rata no mede aba. Ghana for dedi na moye na ye. Airport for civil aviation for ayo madwuma. Me kwa na minim said omo sequence na si ye adwuma fa. But the minim say civil aviation Ghana Airport Company Limited. Wamuno man de dinkuta ho. Eti wiemhye bia ba besi ewo ye tarmac so wo Kotoka International Airport. Kotoka wiemhye ngina bia. Na akwakoba se ehwo ntansa. Ena wiemhye no esunubone esun eye sika ne yakoro. Yaka se sika yakoro awnim money laundry azam ne yeke. Eti more airport for more Kotoka wiemhye ngina bia. Kotoka wiemhye ngina bia mo na mo ma ho kwan. Mo na mo receive signals. Say wiemhye bimbembe gina. Nti eye ena wo mo di bibia ba beto abonti ampa. Ye receive signals no. Wiemhye ne kra ye ma nakok. For echo mo. And I'm saying no pay. Mene eye nakok deputy director me madam Fumenyonko Tumberry Makasa ye no. Otire mu se wiemhye ne si ye no. Ekoba se net se wo mo kokko chekim. Ene ti wo mo do mo nkraman no mienu. Ba ko di kan wura mu. Oba no mo sande ba ko san kokko wura mu. Eno se wo mo ehwo hwe. Ena kwakoba se de aye tete se na bibio. So omamu no se yadwuma ekesere ne ya. Airport company fo nka mo so mo moan. Ana mo so akwakoba se nya de ambotimi akasa. Muntimi ntron krata bia beye 2 paragraphs bia amfa amai. Ghana Airport Company Limited. Tara ka se me to atwa. Ka to atwa na ge akwa enim. Ene no so ayedede. Ene yedi akire. Eti se ye bisa se minority for atro de akwa command the diplomatic corps e wo ye manyimu. Se wo mo intervene na se no ama na ekoso no. Egu oman nanim ase. Eti ranking member at the Foreign Affairs Committee. Ewo Ghana mrache bedwafi on edi animu. Ye friend no Honorable Samuel Abujinapo. Ni nua na ye energy minister and ye friend no John Jinapo. Wachoro de akwa koma eye the diplomatic corps. Various embassies ewa. Diplomats. Say one intervene, they should intervene. They should intervene. Na the ekoso no egu o man hu fi. Enti wo so ma so de ko. Ena say ne yebisa so. Abemu panyfo minority led by Honorable Intim for Johnson. One more day semi 2 dwai. Say edian na maye edia fa ho. Say beye no mamu no yadwemu be kama. Obi anwenwen. But rather no yebejai the false accusations. We pray to we so na we are pray to we so. Blaming each other for non-reason yet me establish it or to authenticate facts be a bit me aboying. At the say jai na ye with the realities at the end the woman is simplicity. Okay papa yes he say onso was say ya ye to nsafro na da ben na reverend grandma what to nsafro ne ye man panya issue directives also CID before NI before and then nakok moka mu na mo ye hwehwe mu fafa sa de we national security operatives. But where are we now? Did na we can we now we can we sani ye no SMS can we ya no bentene so aka we na ye jane sa na ye de ko eno a na obi a pen interest sa na say ye nana ene ye de te hu enti say dia ye hwe animo ye bupi. And this is what we are saying. Sir, I hope here say in Shishemu fiko bi betimi akoso. Because Ghana man penye His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Asemi ba beto dwano when ni wan gro. O take keen interest. O take keen interest e asemi no ho. And no issue and what directives. Sir, kwamo ye Shishemu a ye wo ye man mu no. Woman yes and Shishomono. Na ye hu de be free mama. But this is all here we are. Baby ye woni sabri. For now report bi amba meto abonten. Na yetime gina so e dey establish say asem na no kra na say nya no kra. Enti enwan say ye nyina ye wa wan ho. And a man for a chira kwa wiem shen kra esi e fa so si e wo Kotoka International Airport. A man for a chira radar say wiem shen no say wiem shen say bre na peja no mu say pa o da radar so sa any manifest transmitter wiem shen na mutum no mu nipa mutum no nyina near the information near the akwa command radar we e beso no mu Obeni na radar no so sa no de akwa kodu ba bi o. Omembia so ane de enti omembia no obe receive anu waka. Okay, flight number AEI 007 Boeing. A departure from Kotoka International Airport. It will very soon very soon, sir. By 30 minutes be in your airspace. We are submitting you 8 manifest on your radar. Azemo. It is something I did, Janty, and then the end of the maybe son say, and then you bring. Sir, I bear you by, yano. A yadia national security operatives, what met to me, aqua coche. A ye and no bonnet, a ye can once a maybe. Now, one more coche, yano. Ebi bako wati as $350 million. Bako wati about $150 million. And yes, Gakumani Ekano. And yes, Gakumani Eka Huasem. Enti Yesha allegations were made by the minority led by Honorable John Intim Fojo. So, about issue of drug trafficking. Said the yen yen komodia da yeponosono. Are we managing it well? Are we managing it well? Money, are you serious? Say you're quite here. You're drug trafficking, and that is the question I'm asking. Asamba kwa nanyumre yebisa. Ni abeja fo ne ba betenase. Na yede ho komo. Na ye free kwa asamba kwa no so ba betodwa. Asamne kwa ne sen. Asamne ne se. Yesi ECG. Omo containers bi agira. Say o ma na yate. Say containers no. Ana no ma na yira wo mu no. Yakwa ko hu bi o baabi. Ya hu bi won kran ha. Ya ko hu bi okumase. Ena ya ko hu ba kon so wo Western region. Enti eno no eye eno ama na yira dada. Eno ama na iyeye ECG no ama. Ena na nipa bi awia kwa akwata dada ne ya ko hu. Ana eye containers ni mu no ama. Eno so yenya hu. Ya tene se o ye hu ya che nkrofo bi. O ye hu ya che nkrofo bi. Eye containers na yira ne ho no ama. Ana se we ne de na yira dada because ECG na mu no obi asora no bona fum. We ne be twese kan na hu o de yi na so. We ne be twe so no de awone yam. ECG no ama na kasa no. Said am ben fo bi kan ye no. One say ade na order that one mutim de no amaba no amakwa auction. Adango da day and no na yehu ana. It's a worrying situation. Very worrying situation. Enti and also are we making a headway? There was saying to me. Etiana many abedwafo no etenase. The baba be din komo. Ya baba be hwe samakodo a ekoso ewo yeman mu. The baba be hwe awa noama eko. So mind your man yourself ni ye no. In some no baba to dwa your political interest ni ye twa na say the realities ni eka ho asem. Eno ni asem no. Political interest in the year, or we usually deal with the realities. That is the discussions we are going to have. Now, as usual, I'm on your phone. Do I make a choice? Hey, oh, yeah, I'm on your semo. Yeah, I'm on your 70 Jamia, I'm on yourself. Set of way, Ewaha, or you're a member of the MPP communication team. Said me, what you to say?
Jerry, Major so, Yamiadom. Your board and Adorama. Moja dear more for Sunny.
That's right.
A matter so a double German day. There are settlement and coupon near Chia at tier 4 near her 4 online. No matter how so. Now, Yama, me penny Yakasim. This is Abri Crown Point.
Yakasim at all, sure.
Gusua, ye, the business, a supportive party members. In the constituents. When we say even this ended Ramadan festivities,
yeah,
of course, we extended helping hands to the Muslim community. No need to media or no believe it's a Caribbean or so on fortune. Not because of political leadership, but of course as a private man. No. Even in your capacity, you should be able to assist people who are also in need of your assistance. So that is what he keeps on doing for the people of Amasama. Until you Kasimata there, Ninyuma Guswa Kosway constituency. Mamincha constituency for especially party members. Very soon, I believe, the party will reorganize itself.
Amasama constituency.
Sure.
So. Na momo mpani foto na mo wa Amasama. Anya Amasama person.
National no.
Yeah, national. No maba mo.
Obviously, they've been there. I think last 2 months more no by. They had a fruitful discussions with the invited people now on Bishia. You know, it was not open to all the party members, but some selected key stakeholders. Yeah, they had a stake in the electioneering process. But I believe, sir, it wasn't enough, in my candid opinion, in my personal opinion. It should have been open to ordinary party members to also air their views. You know, sir, sometimes I see assembly or I say or hiniano. Assembly also I say I inquano. Penifo no say penny kasaya no friend kasantuma. But yana yanuma ya wafamuno.
One back can say
it. Yeah, cannot say it. In my opinion, no, I think there should be an avenue for ordinary party members, even though they give lines and email addresses to the entire party folks or concerns. You could send it through those avenues. I think it is not friendly to Obia because me out Eastern region, cluster crowd, so it will be difficult for him to air her views through email address. And I say any of these mediums are must say M5 So one-on-one interaction. Sometimes say body language alone makes you understand the background from which the person is coming. And so sometimes these ordinary party members, should be allowed to have a say. Me and me out and out party member and I say an ardent supporter.
Yeah.
They may see but will be or supporting party because of it be a free SHS, it be a one district, one factory, it be a intervention, be a ban the buyer. Sunny panel can be swayed given the circumstance he or she finds herself. In his uncle for and I was a party in more kind. Let me say, I say, a fiachi any abofono biom ntu ma nipa no kwan no kan nzama no matter how asam si ahye no so no obo say he's relieved of some of these challenges I believe say yes party mpanifo ya de am a bomb about so but I think there's still more room for improvement.
But one more back ye no party na won keka etisen awo form within the constituency ama
majority the mechanism party ama directive say we should be measured in the kinds of things we should say in public.
Said
the Bayer to not put the party's name into the
process.
And Sanka, Obisam sa question before that directive na come one same be American. But the member on tofa can say a famunjo ye. A year kakra sin first no there, but a famunjo ye. Into the American say party in Penifo and Koswa engage. Nam Penifo they've been entrusted with constituency positions, polling station positions in the Kakahono. They should allow themselves to be criticized. That's what democracy is all about. Then we put the two sides together, be able to find a middle ground, and then take an informed decision. So, party leadership, especially from the constituency level, no, they shouldn't take entrenched position and behave as if they know it all. Nobody is a repository of knowledge. I believe so. Once you allow yourself, I to be suggestive, I'm out to me say I do with the nanka. So I believe that yes, we are in the process of re-energizing the base, but all is not well as I speak. It is too early days here to say be a course because there are certain things that are going on in the constituency as I speak. Any say AC, but guso a course. I believe with consistent effort and gradual engagement with the ordinary party members, and trying to also listen to them, will pave a way for a better restructuring process. Yasha said that. So I believe there are better days ahead of the NPP in the Amasama constituency.
Okay. Right, how you need 100.9 into what I said of a member of the national communication team of the NPP. You're trying a year, you about no so be free. NDC, National Communication Bureau. Yeah. Okay. Right. Set.
Jerry.
Yebisa say drug trafficking. Are we managing it well? Especially about way by woman to an among woman to me intercept no bonibi woma esefata wo macho na yebisa seso are we managing it well? Allegations upon allegations. Wow party mu panyofo so one will take a keen interest. One will take a keen interest because he free one more caucus a one rashe be feel an answer for national interest. Sense me about betuja. Say minority for a call it on the diplomats. If you be a yesu say Eddie nobody be aba. Bemu penny for how I want most information about the Babatuja. Send it to mouse at all. When it comes to drug trafficking.
Jeremy does it. Some way, see, I say, may share on mine at Dianam de Acasa. Number you may MPP at Diego. The mechanism we are failing as a country in dealing with drug issues. And the earlier we set up, the better. Me can say because Honorable John in Team Fojo, this release about 2 abonting. I've listened to so many experts and so many key people in this country on my commentaries on this expose. Listening from the angle the Honorable came from, I mean John in Team Fojo. Nam huni say obo omano eho ban. Eno nti say obi de ne ho asi wo say asama edika sei obe blow alarm ama the security officials are more concerned about taking steps to remedy the situation. I believe some of the crowd and bear say, Anka or Yebony. If you say, Oto mem, na debia yinim the effect of drug, hard drugs on the citizens. The individuals, the security of the states, and even the building of the state. I don't think say honor will be of his teacher and who be sano the betuja anka ya the bone cry. I was anka sabra anka ye boy and sem ediamano. But as usual, your funny say MPP ninti all can or the go abaya or teso anymore. All that the honorable member sought to do was to draw the attention of the authorities on the pending issue. Say BBC and Akoso. Enti say monamoye in charge there institute an investigation into the matter and let's ascertain the facts. Not the oil culpable in the incriminating incident of this nature. No, yet nafa emrakwanso. But as usual, I was asking myself, say, Honorable Kwachio Fusu, Minister in charge of Government Communications, they say, Kasa Okano, or defend it Abai, and now or defend it aircraft and impany for.
As had any of our buying with your Casa de Mabai.
And you are buying a day aircraft in a bar or many manner. What my question I say? Young funny say, oh, my friend say, aircraft company. Now say, what they or ship and I say, what they or crafting or aircraft and about my that's a semi bahua. I don't enjoy someone my own penny for. No one found no crew woman emetuja. No mum a buying now. I didn't know company ni no. Ebe same with no. Mumu no matejina mu defend the company no. Is there anything they are hiding which we don't know? I want us to take a few minutes and brainstorm on these questions that we be saying. Because company be about mining. It is suspected, say, and it is alleged, say, among the drugs about mining, they are engaged in money laundering. Nasa buying penny for, nasa buying nimu shade. Yeah, I think that the government should be happy. Say, a good citizen. At me, I let Tom say, "Bibi say, koso a yet dangerous to the security of the state, and therefore he must even be protected, and an investigation should be instituted such that we can get to the bottom of the matter. Now, omo in charge of those happenings, they are brought to book. But then, fellas, Kwacho Fusu, and will defend it sad way from all angles with the energies he has in him. The sad aspect is that Obi are appointing us minerals investment fund was saying CEO. Their communications director, Sami Jenfi. Every no office.
Sami Jenfi, PMMC. CEO.
On the CEO. Every no office. And so I jump into the fray. He defended the same matter. And now, honorable no other assembly 2 years so. Ote Obianoa is dishonorable, he's discredited, all types of adjectives being used to describe him.
But until maybe say bar. Do we address it? Nationalistically.
And that is what I'm doing this evening.
Say Adiani bar. Yes, because say baby babeto na say obi de babetuja.
Why are we not happy to even hail him and say, oh, why a hostel blower? Into yam wow. Now no
oh, ye no amade babetuja.
Oh, my girl, into Viesida.
And maybe said, dear man can't find.
Maybe Sassan Viesida.
It is Yebisa, Sadiana babetuja. Because Tamo Kujato, all Case. ABI Obibeka say asamen in your pocket and your pay, but
they are not the same.
Nina no ayen sama. Honorable member say a fee mu.
Who say
way ever flight in Windia. Now you for could you to on the flight. O man penya kwen to no dear chire or track or could you to me ya no wako company ni ho who flight and radar and I'm so timeous. Not the Baba Betuja. And
you are even making my argument better.
Say about do we address it?
You're making my argument
then we should have hailed Okudjato, but we didn't.
You see, there were a series of allegations you investigate and be bruna and no credit. Far lands issue Okudjato to just say under the MPP at Tonton, the boss center, and some airport companies lands I had a privilege to go through those documents, which I had the platform on your TV station here to explain to the general public. Say even some of these processes started under the
I agree. Which was not
in connection with the NPP government. So it was proven it was false. And that's what a responsible government should do. A minister in charge of aviation and asset transport should be able to speak to these matters. An asset airport company should be able to speak to these matters and present the facts as they are. Just as Abu Jinapor did in his era when he was accused of selling public or state lands to individuals. He did exactly the same thing. He investigated the matter and then brought the facts to the public. Are we seeing a similar thing from this government? And that is why I'm asking, say, are they protecting the interests of the state or the interest of the company? Actually, we actually could see 2006. Okay, MV Benjamin KCBSC here.
Yeah.
Anna and the director of operations at the presidency, COP Kufubuache. The director general for Ghana Police Service. Near 77 parcels of cocaine be Ira. And if free say Burkina and Mali, and I back Ghana Hanuma on the dock, they had to transfer those cocaine into a different bus. And once and bedaho deja, leading to the prosecution of the 4 accused. At the end of the day, they were handed over a sentence of 15 years. Lucky for Kofi Boache, who is now the director of operations, the positions and previously are synonymous. Then he was director of operations for Ghana Police Service. Today he's director of operations for the presidency. So coincident. And also coincidental, say the 2 positions he was holding then and now are almost the same or similar. Leading to the incarceration of these 4 accused for 15 years. Kofi Boache was so lucky because, according to the report chaired by Georgina Wood Committee, then the Chief Justice, it came out with the facts, according to the U.S. ambassador then in 2007, revealing the incident that led to why Kofi Boache young prosecuting. He says Kofi Boache had so many privileged information. If he had been prosecuted, and Kobe let out a lot of information about incriminating, so many people are more into strategic and sensitive positions in the country. And until Kofi Boache young prosecuting. And one say he being the director of operations at the presidency, and the presidency protected even the company allegedly they are involved in this kind of cocaine saga.
Any company, man.
I don't know why one other topic here to.
And now say company, man.
Now say aircraft. I'm say Ahmed is a one day plane in back.
Now, how is the presidency protecting Ahmed?
Government spokesperson defended the issue. One is someone so OSEI AGYEMAN. Magjeru company not for PRO. Now or defend the company allegedly or they drugs about or environment a potential damage and rippling negative effect on you. Will you send your PRO to come and defend that company? It makes the deal suspicious and fishy. And that is why I'm tempted to agree with people. Amuka said the presidency is involved in all these issues. No?
Now, president name issue directives immediately.
Has the directive been followed?
We have been told.
Has the directive been followed?
National Security Coordinator.
It's been almost 2 weeks now since John and Tim Ford, your honorable, let out this information. Almost 2 weeks now. Have you heard airport company releasing any statement. What is Ghana Air Force, and now National Security, and now the police service, and now immigration service, are releasing even a single word concerning this incident. They are being gagged by the presidency not to even speak on the matter. That is my candid opinion. Studying what is happening, I am tempted to believe the presidency is involved in some of these things. That is why they don't want us to discuss the matter in the media, and I said to the public to know what is going on in this country. I am tempted to believe the presidency is involved in all these things that are happening. But I'll plead with the president that Ghana was once called the Gold Coast. We shouldn't turn Ghana into a cocaine coast. We were proud when we were being called the Gold Coast. The name Gold Coast, which is now Ghana, shouldn't be turned into a cocaine coast. Because that is what we voted for. The change we voted for, they say, in Yamaboni and Ghana forces say under MPP na ekoso between 2017 to 2024. And sister, for the better and not for the worse. But if you say, Magdalene, Abrabo Kra Uboy, Uboko enim. So it will be very disastrous, a government that campaign on change for better Ghana and a heli drug barons at the expense of a noble, honorable person in the form of a Reverend Minister John Ntim Fojo, or try to protect the territorial borders of this state from drug barons. And then he's being attacked left, right, center from all angles.
But
as the chairman of the Defense and Interior Committee, one of his main responsibility is make sure that the country is safe and draw the government's attention to things security-wise and why not allowing him to do his legitimate work? Now under MPP from 2017 to 2024, until worse than this. The worst thing I heard on one of your stations on Asempa, when he was having an interview with Obi, was that they are going to use Reverend John Ntim Fojo as an example. As an example of what? As an example of when.
But investigations because of.
And so they are going to use him as an example of them.
There's investigations because of Nase. And no cry. It's an example. It's an example.
What do we do to whistleblowers under the Whistleblowers Act? Obi Obe alleged say BB cause into investigation. Not that he made a categorical statement to. Or see, this is my suspicion. One cassette chinchina it is Danka or make a categorical statement it is there. He wouldn't even call for investigation. All he would have asked was that this punishment should be meted out to the corporate. But here he was asking for investigation into the matter and know the real issues that brought those aircraft into the country. And today, somebody who is performing his legitimate role as an oversight responsibility idea manner as an MP, he's being denied that right.
And what is that right?
The right to alert the public what is happening, which is
security matters. It's a normal case. Or sign your ranking member. Defense and Interior.
Parliament is on recess. Are you aware?
I am aware.
So
institutions or recess.
One of the tools he can use. One of the tools he can use is his public advocacy.
Just like that.
Press conferences are not alien to our politics. Press conferences in this country. Now under NPP, press conference in this one, led by all these ranking members on various committees. Magdalene, I won't tell Omaimana. You've hosted this program severally, and you've discussed some of these issues over and over. So I'm surprised. I only believe, Zabia, you are only playing the devil's advocate, just to know more about the matter. But I think the ECOS it is not new to our politics.
And
anybody who suspects something must alert the security agency. One of me. He was calling on the security agencies. And I offer mine. One frail, Marjorie. Reverend John Ntim Fojo offer. One frail be or fee of fresh security agencies, airport company, immigration service. national security, said they should investigate, and ultimately calling on the president, who is the number one gentleman of the state, in his oath of office. Oka said he will do good to all manner of people, all manner of persons, defend and protect the state, and even properties. Nasa Obi, Yato Abamano, performing his rights as a ranking member on the Defense and Interior Committee. They say, Yetikuapai. If this is what they are afraid of, then they should expect more. Because the worst is yet to come. Because say you suspect to be a young canuntum. Because say Obi now a director of Ghana Police Service under his watch, 77 parcels of cocaine to me right. That's how we would incriminate to be prosecuted, recommended by the George Wood Committee, and then a director of operations at the presidency. Not BSc, no, or friends say memories on some of these issues. A crumple by advice President Semasa. And Sembi says see and now be around 2006. Say na revelation echo see and until say bisa eba or penswa. As director of operations, my candid advice to you is say you're investigating matter no. Na no crew will never met to ja or to ho no or no so far the air corner so. Silence means day. Silence means consent. Into the Kwacho Fosu and some Jenfi at one defend no presidency for us until no one more because there's no way save your mama and president Kwacho Fosu be defend this answer muya or be jabonti a defended with the Ahwadia or the Bay. Kwacho Fosu and the catcher and maybe say Nanado ARA cancer. It was proven to be wrong. Say or acute kidney injury. And the same person wants us to believe say cocaine I can want something no credibility issues is at stake at this point. Some Viana court a final no almost I think 500,000 Ghana cedis. Bra we can throw the two. Dr. Matthew Poku Prem person say the bodyguard involved in takrade kidnapping issue be. And a defend they say yanini. Johnny Team for what to say we could try and throw my court finding that. Anna Jerry. I can vouch for the credibility of Reverend John and Tim Forjo because the track record and just will throw. But I've mentioned these two individuals are taking center stage and defending as left, right, center say their credibility is not intact. So anything coming from them in terms of such issues, no, I will never believe anything from them. There's no iota of truth in whatever they are saying, given their track record. And this is a kind of cray, a was in India. Na say who are some no Nepoma Sibre Party, Yama Quine, na investigation. Reverend John and Tim Forjo, ranking member on the Defense and Interior Committee, no, and they were 2 Jan say, yeah, investigate, no, Yama Quine, no investigation and coso. Now say, at the end of the day, scientists are sending who's there one kind of grand fan channel mine. What are we hiding? That's my principal question this evening. Say, and then you DCNT investigation, Ebecoso. No mum. Former president travels there. Yes, say, yeah, other investigations into travels. Very ridiculous directives, sir. Edema at the expense of the very core issues I was say bother your attention in this country. In the early days of John Mohammed's regime, no things that are happening are not palatable at all. McJerry, would they tell one thing? The recent global info analytics. More rating approval ratings on the buy. I must say, John Mahama approval rating and I'm 64%. If less, say, I'm going to say 62%, less than 3 months, and I'm fancy 3 months, or approval rate and I'm 62% there. Now say, Eswati almost by 38%. In 4 years, Eswati will do say. McJerry, less than 4 months, so, and I say in 3 months, no. Approval rate and I'm 62%, Eswati by 38%. And free NPP headquarters, so Nipa now predicted say John Mahama be winning 2024 elections, no. Or no conducted the research, and now or the approval rate about to say John Mahama approval rate by Ghanaians 62%, meaning say from 100, no, Eswati by 38. If in less than, and I say within 3 months, now approval rate Swati by 38% there. Every 4 years, no. And your guess will be as good as mine. These drug issues, let's tackle it from the national point of view. Ninja partisan approach, they attack the issue. I think that in all this, Reverend John Ntimfojo has never accused the NDC government in meddling themselves in any cocaine issue. All he says is that craft night they are in the buy, These are the suspicions he has. Investigation should go on. Facts should be made bare to the public. Now, make an informed judgment. I think that should be the bottom line. Ninja, the shifting of blame, the name calling, and the attack on his personality, whether he's this and that and whatever. No, and no, and Bama issue no in the Pumas.
Now he is calling on commission for inquiry. And son, our facts we be making available. Odi Kantrokoi said there should be a joint committee,
and that was turned down. The joint committee press briefing ambassador.
Yes.
So for security agencies, I think the 4 security agencies involved, no from Muna plus the airport company, was it adhered to?
And so
it didn't come on. And so the best thing is to get a commission of an inquiry, just as it was done in 2006 when the MV Benjamin cocaine issues, George Nawood committee, finding out say these were the people behind the drug issues. Then, so calling for commission of inquiry, I think it is the best thing to be calling for at this point. Once the first call was not adhered to, the second one should be the best approach. The commission will have the powers to recommend sanctions to those people.
Let's say, I don't know, the appropriate.
It is the most appropriate measures to be taken at this point, because you cannot trust these leaders who are jumping to the defense of a company allegedly on modern drugs about what damning consequences on even our international relations with our neighboring countries and even international bodies. When you say money laundering a crime, and drug issues are also criminal issues. Are you perpetrating criminality in our country? Are we condoning illegalities in the country? As a citizen, one of your duties is to protect and alert the government and the security agencies when such matters come on. Abbas warning then. Say defending
no. Say Abayane to me intercepted drugs yibi.
Abayane susu. Abayane intercepted. Abayane catches were intercepted.
And national security operatives in this government.
Omo intercepting wherever.
How crowded here?
Dabe.
Western back on about $350 million.
Back on $150 million. Issue with two jana. But has it caught your attention?
But has
it caught your attention?
But it
is the MP's advocacy. It is the MP's advocacy that has brought light on these matters. And that is why from my initial presentation, Mikato said, I was thinking, Heleno. Nanka you protecting even to do more when such matters are difficult to even bring to the attention of the public, nanka onyanho odimpo anymore because say ye bo oman hu ban na say oman mu edadian one benefit most any president now benefit most it inures to his credit. So I am even surprised say omumon ene omo attack Reverend John Ntimfojo for doing such a novel or a noble work to protect the state from drug barons and money laundering. So we shouldn't at this point try to incriminate Reverend Ntimfojo. Say bringing light on these matters, is bringing a slur or is casting a slur on the government. After all, if you are not the individuals behind, why should you be afraid of those individuals who were culpable? In 2006, then I make catch that one. Assembly by who said na government official be a dim woman. So the government was not perturbed. But I believe it is because we have individuals who may be involved in this issue, and don't think about them per se on be investigated. Because obi anywhere unimse nkro forward na chi a obe institute any investigation into it at the end of the day his people will be incarcerated. Obi anywhere be aban bi anywhere be they will try to protect and defend their people just as they are doing. There are so many hands involved in these matters. And I believe the earlier we solve these issues, the better. Said the bear Ghana will not be turned into a cocaine coast. We were once called Gold Coast. That is the proud name we should be protecting, and not the era of galamsey and cocaine issues in this country. Go ahead, the galamsey.
And Ghana turned to cocaine coast.
Now, their cost is there.
As I said, it has not been established.
It has not been established.
Flight EDA.
Establishment
You who say no crown and you know. Establishment. Now, see a timber cocaine and let us say, attend to the cocaine coast. Be over for one betcha.
Yes, you could get for. The upper a view, no, not hard nature. She Nipana or board defense be bribeno. Ye. So, if you're not hiding anything, you shouldn't fear any investigation. Within Cabis as a magazine, a day now ban we EDC in the cocaine saga, and until one person become myself. And they are very uncomfortable discussing the cocaine issue because Omufi say a good abandon any mass. Now, who you are you may yank when you want it? Who you are you may yank when you bet it? As young as I am now, I don't want to see my next generation coming to inherit a country, a history, in the era of John Mahama, no, na Air Force will be see Ghana, na cocaine guma. It was involved in money laundering allegedly. I ain't investigating and who no cry a womb. Dia a bewo no. He too as here in Chaso. And ya de pa say or maybe encourage such activities in our country. And until yampe as seven ni root cause. Omo behind. Ni intimi ensiano. Because was 3 months into the regime. Na sense some way ACC. And ya de pa. Ebini si eba discuss ECG containers aire. Enti Jomama pensi de nyama bi aira. Oh. Okay say nana say ya almost say 40 excavators and so aira. Lance minister Edbert Tuja say 40 excavators almost easy at Galamsey site aira. Enti omo de bibia almost abeke bia aira.
Na say almost near over 500 excavators.
The bia me catch you say we voted for change.
But
we
I'm not aware.
For change.
Honestly speaking, I'm not aware.
You go on these online portals. When we say it is reported, Mutala Muhammad and the two just said 40 excavators. Aira, I can Google and get you the information right away. Me, I don't speak without facts because there are a lot of things I can say. Factual. Why will I go and peddle falsehood on a minister? So in Yama Ira, about way up and so on, I shall say free. And I know that. And you want to say, be one of those foolish cases. I'm one person by attended to because they think at the end of the day, if their people are found behind it, they go abandon the mass in tea. Let's find all means to defend and protect our image. But these things cannot be defended and protected.
Abandon said a man, no manager, young woman, so they the baby tuja.
Abandon 5 he met tuja.
Oh, now, ECG containers here, but
abandon 5 he met tuja.
Oh, how?
Typical example na ye discuss fa cocaine issue no one de betuja enya ban de betujo
ba na ban de kan chibi
enya ban de betujo
sana honorable John in team for Joe de ba
national bia na da say aban pen say on betuja news portal bi na leaky here and aban confirm me my friend say John Jinapo issue de betuja say containers via in the first reportage what the other two jano if you are appointing the first or call port one what the okay also there are 3,000 containers porter ECG dia adichi here and we say aka 2,500 later no sansan and look at say 1,300 asaira which there are so many inconsistencies in the communication of this government which I believe said the earlier they sit up the better. Because it is not giving them a good image. Sometimes I don't believe in it, but consistently what they are doing now, no, it's me say agrobesa if anopa mantra na etakano no correct. Because the omode chance eno ana omoto ato aso kakra omode eko ewiyi. Makase omayi ewo bibi papa bia yenye ne na okohwe Jamaica the intermoney dimpa and some of these drug issues also. Okay, some of these countries are omajidin wo enuboniuma and shasiye prekopo e shasiye keten. say dua anansi e de ewu no abo ntekuma nkotena se entonko nti aban we omo nani na ho ohun se ebi asida. There were steps I take here. Omo president in 2006 ABC na MV Benjamin case 77 parcels of cocaine what the government then did was to set up a commission of inquiry headed by the Chief Justice then Georgina Wood omo investigating the issue. At the end of the day, the facts were made bare. The individuals behind the case were prosecuted. They were handed over 15 years in jail. The only exception was the now operations director at the presidency, COP Kofi Boakye, who was also incriminated by the committee to be prosecuted. But the then Attorney General, Joe Garte, decided not to do it because the then ambassador to Ghana from US, Ekachere, said, now he had very privileged information. His prosecution could have led to several security issues. Abano through the Attorney General decided not to
he wasn't
prosecute.
indicted. He wasn't prosecuted. Yeah, one more your friend is saying you need free ideas, so that was bad. Reinstate, or they call away. The issue
if you decide not to see anything behind that issue, it is up to you. But I believe the public who we are addressing this evening can understand the point from where I'm coming. Because so be or what less power it me involved in cocaine issue you recommend this and prostitute na say no obenya higher position could change the then position or one your guess is good as mine the obetumi in his position as director of operations at the presidency.
Higher need 100.9 from Adrian Chireno Ebra Facebook Live need 100.9 FM need 100.9 FM Asonaba Kwajono Mafo me radio Musan or chemi live from the UK. Asal Kojo say I'm MPP guy, but watching another date was good for nothing. NDC just came, but we have another day. Hey, Honorable Frank Amankwa Itase, or your assembly member, was it so? On international platforms, the NDC and its officials admit to the devastating impact of COVID-19 and Russia-Ukraine war on economies. ANDC. Ajay Farouk said, "Great work to you, Mark Cherry." Godwin Kwame Masters said, "I got to like the MPP when people like Nana Komia and Nana Hininto Dan Butcher were speaking for the party. Since the emergence of the Nana Akufo-Addo and its communicators, the MPP has become a faith club." Brendo Anthony also, what is this guy saying? PT himself? Also, Mr. Host, have you seen any cocaine? And you allowed him to be accusing government of drugs. Also program Wadaramo. Show me ATM is saying. Show me. I'll come up permanent show me here because and come on the ED. They all can be as I'm interrogating I'm interrogating matters. Also they are far home. Facebook Live, I call and I make a message. No, you need 100.9 FM, need 100.9 FM. And as I call YouTube channel now, Despite Media. In fact, and then I'm a lady lawyer who belonging to NDC, one more communication bureau. As we speak now, we don't know what has happened. On the next Kobe joining now, or you're part of the show, but unfortunately, you name what has really happened. And oh. Namode obi maybe sana mokano. Owa hene akwasiye champon. Ose Jerry, this Yohane Mahama government is a certain. Ose a certain sinkwa. That is what Owa hene akwasiye champon also it's saying. It's over Facebook Live and now also the Wadwin channel their file. It needs 100.9 FM. Needs 100.9 FM. Now yetimi akenkan set ofay ene wa ha meneno etu ankoma seto ECD containers and matters are rising. Honorable John Jinapo said the waka said baby bia ECG containers nafa. And no bia won't be a woman kwakwa. Jampa say yahu Kumase and the Ashanti region. Some of the cables suspectedly say if you containers in the more and we are yet to. Na yahu the omo kochi or western region. Yahu the omo chain and cry ha. The initial stages. A brand yeka containers no and once. And also are we making a headway? Say you see your phone.
Yo, Mark Midasi, the mechanics ECG has suffered a lot in the hands of politicians and some technocrats over the years. O check your lights bills are here. And the power we consume at the end of the day. Which means that there is a great mismatch or disparity between what we consume and how much we pay. Now, we say right from the generation point through the transmission point to the distribution point, there are so many losses within this mix. Coupled with some of these practices over the years are causal. And it's there are communities light bill cry and jijiwo. And in Tibet 5 years to 10 years, community be a minimum, but for certain reasons in team fan tuja or platforms so. To me, ECG in team koje bills or a can who be na ma yen kakrana or more access to lifestyle or our meters the consuming power no or more charge astronomically no. And no nyina kan ho na ma ye bills akosoro. And no nanche no some of these transactions are more enter into a very huge in terms of cost. And so at the end of the day, more important than we are. Can we say oh me usika and fankutia? It is on the books or on the ledgers of ECG to be able to keep their operational capacity every day, day in, day out. What they do is some of these losses and assets, some of these data, a better as a result of these petty tests and deliberate wrongful transactions that they enter into, and I culminate into the bills here. Which at the end of the day, it does not commensurate with how much we are consuming in our homes. It is a minister, through the committee or setting up any investigative body, to just say they will go after the perpetrators of this heinous crime. Etimia arrive at the point say or more identify some of these containers. Because the minister know why are there on the onset. But I believe we shouldn't set for incidents of this nature should happen before and
I'm so we ECG who near Shenisa.
Put here a marking on the floor of Parliament. I think he made a revelation over there as the former board chairman for ECG. Okay, I said there are so many practices during the tenure as the board chairman he didn't like, but by the virtue of the position then, I believe that this is the time bipartisan approach to some of these issues must be the order of the day. Said the enquiry to say you blaming NDC and I say NPP. Now no cropotia what assembly chintia ema abribia ye kraniama de ma ECG na ebia kodi wrongful hands mu wrongful places ebi wo kra medu ebi so bedu na court officials with the connivance of certain security agencies now you are transmitted their comma individuals and say the more I think it should cease.
It must cease. Honorable Fanomark na sema o kan ye. And then they been crying so it is taught and no person program so but yentia dia such shocking revelation no can fa ECG.
Okay.
Yeah, say fire woman no be do it yentia.
How come containers at the ports, containers that have arrived, the bureaucracy at our ports, they say the containers are missing. Mr. Speaker, it is true that when these containers come, there is some connivance with some customs officials and they sell They sell these containers, these cables that ECG needs after the supplier has been paid. They sell the container and then people resell back to ECG. Are we pretending we don't know? Instead of us to pay attention and kill the rots, then we come here, then MPP, NDC. So now they say, oh, maybe it's happening on the MPP, it's happening on the NDC. No. An honorable minister, I know what you can do. If we can give you support to do it, you must adopt a posture, a non-partisan posture, and tackle the rots. But if we all want to approach it, MPP, NDC, Mr. Speaker, it will remain. NDC will spend 4 years, 16 years, 20 years. The same thing will be there. They will come into opposition, and the same thing would arise again. Then the perpetrators will be there in the system. Mr. Speaker, today, Ghanaian businesses cannot sleep because there's a new government, whereas foreign businesses are surviving because their ambassadors will be protecting their businesses.
Okay. 80 Honorable Afenyo Markins, a minority leader. Now, Honorable Afenyo Markins, some no cano, and you say, containers said the etiano. A yendo crase, and yen then shall see you. ECG 4 crown wama ba, na encrofour. Encrofour be the customs officials. Wama cowbom no me jia containers no. Wamu jia containers in a toma mu ya. Norma fair chire aba betona boarding, norma diama ECG. Because wamu betona boarding ma ECG a besi den aka container aba besi port. No say rent we yensema na norma fedo market ka say ebra no ye bo chairman no onu aka say nim. Sabre so kra wentimi anka. Na ende na obabeka. Ofe
Jerry.
It's a man focus again privatizing ECG no. Because I remember be say cause no my institution. Na say na ye be ye na dia. Nature say what are we doing to ourselves? Ye ho dian. Ye kunya ho anase ye.
Jerry, so share the minority leaders revelation on the floor of parliament the two jana. Okay, say some custom officials and security at the ports and the kunaive ASI Niaman. She ohe omei carefully. Scandals are kesia kosono. Yana intanye direct and answer politically exposed persons neta eyo. Omo de yana eya kwawiya na bekra omo. But omo share chire no these technocrats. Okay, NCA case I see ya prosecute omo papa bi say William Tete TV a man sentence. Papa ya na say or they fake certificate akwaje position NCA honestly a prosecute no. Actively you never saw him on any campaign platform. These were people who were believed to be technocrats. Amuna is some technical know-how. Amunko manage these institutions. Amuna involving themselves in some of these atrocities and criminal matters. Let's not always look at the politician na debia or say MPP atade and say flag egunu komono. Let's avert our minds to these people they hide under the umbrella or under the elephant to perpetrate their own acts that are irresponsible against the state. And until the right call now, the minority leader Emeki on the floor of parliament, I think that should be our approach to some of these issues. Esa na say jatu oni ekwese NDC apensunti NDC for na ye MPP apensunti MPP for na ye pe. We will miss the issue. Openya jokunta kana say be say asembia bana so say assembly foolish case kope MPP atade na say NDC atade na fashe. Unya sha atade na benya supporters awon be do achi say ye nkrofo na ye persecute omo na say ye prosecute omo ntie nja omo. That shouldn't be our approach to some of these issues. So here reportage Ghana where do two jana. I say 10 Chinese have been arrested and 4 Ghanaians have been arrested. Share the composition of the people who have been arrested. No, China for Nkwan Makuma saying Edu, and Ghana for Nipa 4. Meaning say, I hope one no mobile ye my they are even leading the criminalities in our society, and our laws must be seen biting. Our laws must be seen biting. Many sure so we think China. Ako wia abanja padie. Ti say omu cables are more important. They call provide power to the citizens. China me jidi sanka yentwa won say mfiri wa ibebotu you. But here me say rule of law. Ye pemrano too much. Such that even no credit that was say can intivinka. And the few Ghanaians in some mudi echi no my omo frontiers are leading these foreigners to be able to perpetrate such activities. Empire Bonnet said the remaining containers are yet to be found. No, all efforts should be mastered to be able to claim those or reclaim those containers. Just as Jesus Christ can say, "Odi nyuano ko edidie na baako ira." O say ko hwe baako na ira no. No matter how the effort has been able to yield certain kinds of results as we speak, you know, I think there are more backlogs left, and therefore the authorities involved must be able to be up and doing and get these containers back so that the intended purpose in TIA importable or minimum.
Assurance from the energy minister himself. It can be betrayed. Assurance from the energy minister.
You see, I don't want to dwell on the energy minister's promise so much. I will want to entrust the security agencies, task force now. You place you in charge, you know, because politicians sometimes cannot be trusted based on certain pronouncements they may have made previously. You see, you're nominating as energy minister. The first pronouncement I'll make here was that we had, I think, the 3 days of power assurance or something. It turned out to be not true. Until May, I don't want to dwell on his assurances. Which at the end of the day, Nantisa verifying the information from the energy ministry. No, it wasn't so. So I don't want to be in a haste to believe whatever John Jinapo, the energy minister, is telling us. But I want to trust the security agencies to be able to do their works such that the assurances from the ministry, no, not the individual, but I want to treat the matter in the hands of the ministry as a whole. Say, always get it to the bottom of the matter. No, you wait me, Edruho. When we say these few days, we've been experiencing power outages. And these containers were imported to be able to take care of some of these challenges in the energy sector. So the cables are now too old. It causes generational loss and then transmission losses. No, and KTV as a son on that, efficient and reliable power supply, which the then government did so well to be able to import those containers. But I believe that just as our society is, we always think about ourselves at the expense of the country. And that should not be encouraged. And that is why I'm calling for a proper investigation into the real issue that led to the missing of these containers. Mijili said, mo studio hakra said, microphone ira. Mo first prime suspect, how much more containers a good cables a good containers mu? Normal track even the movie. Track a movie. No, Cabrano catch or say Ira. I think it has been misplaced or relocated.
So what's your cables tonight?
A wrongful location.
Get to my retrieval. To say you're finding out that na a cat and Roma never contain anymore.
Oh, but who pictures and videos of some of these containers? And what container them? They have not been
and taken. And your cable for and baby, they are quite baby.
Mean sure. Because
I don't think on for the market says I see and you know.
Possibly it could be other containers
previously. And not information here.
Yes, I believe that they have identifiable numbers.
Okay.
Container bia ekura and a box of cable be also
All right,
so
so
they could be able to track some of these serial numbers on them to be able to identify say they are part of the current crop of cables are irano who are not say enkaho. So I believe say those identities are not difficult to ascertain at all. So the minister together with the ministry and all the security agencies are here involved. Me how they say at the end of the day, ni beti a stable power supply. Now the days of doom so now near about 3 hours of electricity supply and then about almost 21 hours of doom so no. And no na me bo home pa say emanu in CBM because in this country we know these happenings are leading to a lot of job losses over the period between the era of 2012 to 2015. Now we had severe outages of electricity in this country. So many businesses collapsed and even lives were lost because so now hospitals are incubators and now collide them at a point might go off. And if there is no backup generators to be able to quickly come on board to sustain such lives, they were suffering at that point. These are the incidents that main person Ghana Besankum near Sanko experienced the dark days of Jomahama way back in 2012 or 2013 to 2015. And if the studio near Kofi and a free business light or and I say who program or need FM. This offer a producer a business and the program a basso and I say maso and even the financial burden at the bread industries. But you said that then no now mo generator na isi echire hey de bia na so and you could imagine the amount of fuel na generator na consuming daily. I don't think our prayer is that the authorities are able to come to a conclusion on this matter such that the dark days that we experienced those times no and sign ember back.
Okay. Set of fay Anna what's any kind of way say Mark Jerry, good evening. Are we not hypocrites in this country? We always politicize every issue. And we should stop the politicization of issues so that we can tackle it reality. But say politicization, it is any one arm. I'm a for ya because the issue about better. Ubia for so say a medium dia. Okay, fine. Any medium dia and your name. It's a politicization idea, and yet,
but there now can the privatization of EC.
Of because of
which
said no.
Which I believe say I don't support
the privatization. Not even the revenue generation because Sika Yajene Krano. You say Sika and Ko baby at a.
That is why I support the digital system the buy. Nanka auto electricity auto on a pre-meter and as a pre-credit basis and as a pre-financing basis. Into those meters are smart meters are auto electricity no and sun and poor consumption. And no Emma the revenue no equal direct into a source. Any human interface biana will be akokonas can be at their share baby. But the privatization of ECG, on say energy issues, all the question private man sir. Me, in my candid opinion, we Ghanaians are going to suffer. Sometimes you compare the government hospitals to the private hospitals. Obeka said there is efficient delivery of services in our private hospitals than some government hospitals. I beg to differ. In the sense that say as some private hospital no so refer
and when it comes to health they are and I've been saying it always.
So I don't agree with the fact say
be a majority our private or the American that was a health holiday and I side with you.
I think the same thing can be done to the energy sector of this country. And we feel say we shouldn't use or rely solely or heavily on the hydro system I use to know. Now yanko solar system no so be. And not bring a private man on board. You see, the privatization of the main source of our energy in this country, will have a dire consequences on the economy because industries cannot afford the prices are private man Mind you, say private man didn't seek a adema. At the end of the day, also higher prices. And until privatizing ECG there, Jerry may know or more energy. But I believe there should be a robust system. A bit to me, I get it, a revenue no intact. They say they use prepaid meters and then we should also intensify education. A bit of make culture say community view on Kranha. Yes, I could be as you for over 10 years. Those crime cohoda.
Encoda.
Osha Abano Ogeni and Ase or Lucy. So these are some of the matters that should be looked at, and not the approach say we should privatize. I think I saw a news item be online say this an official is suggesting say we should privatize the ACG. I don't agree.
But don't say privatization.
But we should intensify our efforts.
John Jinapo by what try say obe
set up committee
committee no eye twetwemu eye baby say e fa hin na say ye privatizing eye easy but the information available on my table indicates say eye the revenue generation sikasam no
with PDS almost already it was the same approach and na abandadano ebesanka PDS for ebesum with the revenue aspect the then minority NDC anti-ASE into why the change of stance today. Is it because MPP for the or the private man bar and NDC in India or the private man bar yana? What is good is good. What was bad was bad, and it should still be bad. I believe there are so many technocrats and experts who can come together to reform the energy sector, but the simplistic argument say you privatize ECG there me no more enyadwen.
Honest have one enyadwen.
And no bringing me to a dealer about way I enter into with Burkina me many engine.
And we deal ben.
Any hydrocarbon depot I walk Temaporta or Modiama Burkina for. When you say support that facility no na Burkina rent it. So we import more hydrocarbons now.
No Modiaba.
Modiaba go on a rental basis inti mreno so na abano ajo musika. But Burkina man penny after visiting John Mahama on the 7th during the inaugural ceremony. President Mahama went there back on the 13th of January to say thank you. After which on the 5th of March Google and see there is a news portal credible source from the Burkina press. A reporter said this government has outrightly entered into a permanent transaction, letting out that facility for Burkina to own it at this point. Only says our facility na a game changer for our energy security. In the sense say we kind of transaction with a foreign partner sana. That facility you have no control over it any longer. Instead sanka wono ubenya sa facility in future ample for your use. In the event say we have facility and any and some be. And as a result of this transaction, our security at our ports has also been compromised. Our security there has been compromised because and there's what facility in the Burkina. Won't even can't say a man in security and a man facility And Margaret, what name be
but when I'll try so no more.
I'm coming to
I'll try so.
You cannot have total control over that facility. Na no. And I'm telling you that yes, you are trying to compromise on your sovereignty as a country because the first thing of every human being and security needs. Now, let it out such a strategic facility to your neighboring country. I don't think that is the best deal to enter into. And now, Unima Mountain, so John Mahama enter into with the Burkina.
Amount you're saying?
$70 million. $70 million. Such a strategic facility on my ewo na the more on rental basis no. John Mahama edwin eneya instead of dada transaction and I say kakra kakra be nya free omonche. E campo say edidida eyesin edidi preko. So I am so much scandalized that this government will enter into such an agreement. I don't know whether even it had a parliamentary approval because this is an international transaction. I was saying Kenya parliamentary approval. So some of these things are about way I don't think it is the best way to do. It is not the best because if you recall, there was a similar transaction when it comes to our ports way back in 2000 and I think 2013 or so. Tama yewo terminal 3 MPS. So ka MPS transaction John Mahama ne Vincent Balo enter into $832 million. Omo de mo for I think 35 years or so. Ghana for kan about we anti ase and omo de ma this French billionaire and now so ma freight prices akosoro. Ka hu say obi a o import ade bia o do porter charges e ba beto ni nema no so bia no offload the final consumer. Enunti se ba freight issues and I say our port issues na say aban bi e de ne sa work kan nema bi atiti say pe. I become very jittery and uncomfortable when it comes to some of these transactions. Enti aban we should be mindful of the kinds of transactions or enter into in terms of our port systems and our energy sector and our security issues. These are key strategic things and it's maybe letting the gas down on it. Into so you can't cocaine issue which borders on security. You can't energy issue which also borders on security. You can't port issue and also a border on security. I think say edika because you can't fruno near kama a damn pine because the politician, the top class politician like John Mahama and for in the close circles for no, they have access to the outer world. Yeni ebeka wo man yeni ema yeni baby ako. So these are the things that me say the media omo call it the short. Efre omo the fourth estate of the realm no should be looking at such that we can build a nation which is conducive, comfortable and peaceful for all of us to live in, and not a country ubiya banod ni sakandia no aton ni sakandia no aton and sheda nyama pp in the sense that the law ma aban bia timitonton yen ejapade no was promulgated under the PNDC. That is the diversity implementation law. Ma individual government timitonton public properties and companies. And I think some of these things must be nipped in the bud because it is not a good deal to enter into at all. We are trying to live or even give oxygen to the saying say abanja padia na sa abanjuma de ye de to ya beti ni enfanto ye tresoni bi. But leaders are elected to take bold decisions that are in the best interest of the state and not for the interest of individuals because they want revenue to take care of certain aspects. Bia Mufi said that will give them political advantage of their over their opponents. That shouldn't be the order of the day. So that transaction that John Mahama Abanwe I enter into with Burkina Faso president. I totally disagree.
But
with him.
I'm not too privy to such transaction.
I think you can research on these
yeah.
and confirm such information. You could see the transaction, a picture of Mohamed Traore when he was with John Mahama at the venue when they were entering into the agreement. You see, these are not the things we should be encouraging. And I'm saying that the media must take these things up. I don't know why the media is silent on some of these things are very
because
connected with our
energy
issues.
I'm trying to get hold of certain relevant information a bit to me. I mean, on such an agreement.
Get more details on that. I think it's a research your team and yourself can embark on to be able to get a full facts and confirm what I am putting out this evening. It is not a good thing to encourage, because in one breath, what the oral team prevented the sale of government properties, and then you yourself you enter into an agreement it's also releasing our strategic asset like our hydrocarbon depot at our port to our neighboring country. I don't think it is the best deal or the best decision to be taken at this early hours of the governance.
Okay. I need 100.9. You better call it here for her. You discuss two major issues. Two major issues here discuss. No. One, if a year drug trafficking. Now you be successful. Washer and summer by allegations upon allegations. And they TSA national security take affairs. One more facilitate here coordinate the affairs. Say one bit me ayen and their allegations about told you from Reverend Tim Fojo from the minority caucus led by Reverend Tim Fojo. You be say are we managing when it comes to mine no
Unipa Japai.
Otherwise then
Samuna oh dear yetna hakan was still up on one free more.
And I know why then Japai was the
only a task force and call the aiding camp of the former president.
What was a lawful entry? So
lawful entry.
Or the search warrant.
And sans and full way and even for 4 years.
Why didn't I say so?
Only saw the court warrant impose to be fear. The person must be present. You can't just raid somebody's house without the person's knowledge. And you see the kinds of pictures that are circulating online. The door has been dismantled. Them scattered. Are we living in a banana republic or the Ghana we all knew about before John Mahama became president?
But I don't know.
That national security task force will say so-called security task force. What now? Or did this answer from way? That benefits.
Men describe it saying something. Jakpa is working under somebody.
So instruction demand no.
Apart from Debbie,
I'm also making assumption and presuppositions. Also, he's working under somebody. Who is he working under?
Yes.
So the instruction he's receiving is that go and read.
National security coordinator. Apart from Honorable Kenufurata, Okoni Fia, and Honorable Mama Yariga Kujina, Parliament House a patch. Watch a Bank of Ghana. Former boss Okoni way. And on I say yes, legally, Attorney General Krababichiremo, legally, almost secure a search warrant.
And the warrant was to the effect of one said the CCTV cameras with you. Was that part of the warrant?
I say search warrant.
Is it a destructive?
Are suspicious? We are says almost disconnected.
Disconnection means distraction.
No distraction,
we don't just use words.
Put two cables free, man. Where distracted are they? Where disconnected? Because you know the TSA one say or the surveillance cameras be of Bank of Ghana or share the course. It's in say revelations in the
all these are allegations.
Yeah.
That or suspected say, which has not been even ascertained. To the point say first one and can someone uncle Sinti. When you could draw quiet the second one, and then you acquire the third one. Here, John Mahama entna abemu for forever.
Are your president and I will born in Rough and your president.
So President Mahama will not be president for forever. President Mahama will never be president forever. And NDC entna abemu for 100 years. Emrena. Na yekase yemfanche and this voucher to media wo mayim na mrebe bana say abai the board techine the board ban obi nkan kire say we are witch hunting or politically motivated actions now nkofo bi eteki because the ensure eye no saa na wia ebeye enche bia 4 years echiri he ya ewo nim he ya 4 years from now Magdari enni chebi ebeba na omunka hu ze die ensuo ye no maka saa na wi abeye na japa onka hu ze mre bi atwam 4 months ago ya na oye suspect ene wanya hoden na ode tata manfo
na obi a suspect and your body
me say 4 months ago ya na opie fini fie kura na osuru enso ene wanya hoden ni abetiri na ode na manfo firi emre ye ni nkaso
okay
na patapa pieto e demra be woro emre bi a edi anim ya
haye ni 100.9 etiefo me beba mo hona mo so majo nkyere ne topical issues mienu a yede agu apono so a mene eye set of or a member of the NDC or a member of the MPP member of the MPP National Communication Team na NDC rep and son called by your friend Sheiba Sapon a lawyer Sheiba Sapon and it is an called program is so but as we speak now minim the NTR minim production team a yebuku na untimin bedria topics were sent to her. But I don't know why Sheiba Sapon went to me and my program, so we haven't received any information. Numbers are be friend 03022 57902 03022 57902 and 03022 43540. Yeah, that's it.
Point savings and loans sika krabia wo mu gina wo mu na so pampe na awieye mre yi mu a wanhwe ya na sika krabia bi de asokwan ada na wachenchere nti ene sese wunya sika krabia bi ti say best point savings and loans omuda so a adwumaden atoto sika sem amano awie peye na enhyehyɛ pa wo mu ewo mo customers ye bocho na foforo kra wo mu de aba monten best mobile banking na kyerese bank no na wo ye no wo phone no so no enu nti se siade se yesa line tintintin anase wo se wadachi wo sika krabia hode eni hobio na ani kasem mako eka ho ne se wo betumi asende sika asan agi sika wo phone so wo betumi asan atua wo bills ebi etese DSTV Go TV Star Times, Empo electricity bill, any water bills in Yinano. Who bet me at your every phone so while bra would baby edge. Now who pay way Ediana pay. And unti, ye hear say, Ube account our best point savings and loans. Now who we are now what dial *277#. Now would demogra. Washi, banking aye for sanu. Best point savings and loans. Ya makofa best mobile banking aba. Jimmy so say, wo phone ni we seek asuni.
Best point savings and loans. Best point savings and loans. Your dream, our business.
Best point savings and loans so scheme no boama adwumaifo sie sika kakra. Edinya dwetire kese ewo dada anana wotwe kese adwumedie mu. Ye adwumaifo a yatete omo beba beji osika no. Asem den say, susu a wotunti, wutimi gye mo ho prensa. Ensi ho ne wo fom na eye kokko kra se obenya bosia free yen ho. Koyen branch bia ben wo na kwagye wo de. Best point savings and loans. Your dream, our business.
Yamo akwaba edeba neat 100.9. Jumede ye friend Torchlight and the edible. Mamiko Amanusom 03022579002 03022579002 and 03022435540 03022435540. Mebacho memoajo. It's saying Yetio.
Ayo, enani mremu wajuma wabajuma papa nyamichira. Na mentu akonya na micha kufinkanta. Na ene Safia Haji Mohammed. Ya Japan so toti yao. Ya momo de nyensa bola men don tuma mama reli ati. Na dia mi kanyina ni je, udi kambo bon se mi se fa eye ru prayer ya. We say ede koke abeya. Ya ye hu ba bia koke wo senso. Wo ma ye kochi o tedia. Obi ntimi hu de ekoso no. But if you say, I'm going to investigation, a baby, I'm going to answer a baby. And I say, Mamma can't say, yes, Mamma said, and I will be timid in Russian and some year of phone. Because people have a mouth, self-contact will be them. Here in Nipana Court. Here, Ma, Warren, and I had a Mocano. So, for contact in Nipana, but only one year baby or Dana, they will Mutadia. And what? There is a poor mind, they are saying you. Because anybody on young robber. Save your from for any of your Mokasino. What do you say? Don't be idea of the unfat, yeah, and I know of an to our worker. What they said here, would be an anchor and fear to the anchor compound. And this is what they am Basako. And this is Baba Power. Bye bye.
Young corner main fan of off-road, you. Majo. Oh, Bebacho, my next one. Bebacho, me Majo. Yes, I say.
Ghana for you na bo abaso.
Yeah, that's.
Minya wa fije kese we China for tio anadwe. Mama chia me mentor honorable Jombodu. Ye do no call national chairman. And madam for nana case so aguna sabaso omo frɛ no on be di MP. Na me mbo proposal so abaso obo agima. Babi obi amechia no. Magari. Ye besre aban campaign na omo ye no. Mochi aban dada no. Ne titu ne omampanyin ne dada his excellency Nanado. Se omo si ne trumo di. Mochi wo ba en o ma ekombia. Nti yamfa tumi mo ba mo be sisa esebra mai. Nti ono na Rambo Star no omo na ma omo bubu amanfo puno omo se amanfo fie no. Ano na di duane bemple. Ono be ma ye di amie. Ye kan kire Ghana for that say krofo yi fini kutoyem. Nya di on betima ye fima o my Ghana. Na Ghana for mo nti ase. Se si aya to abama omo. Ya hu jima omo ye Rambo Star. Enti mra ni Ghana hanu biom. Kese timi no dani. Enura na MPP na woso. Enne so ndis asaba so. Ka hu cha kina sade enso timi tono sa na we so bo. Enti ye be so omo. Omo fa omo nuclear die no nya agima because omo si omo be ba be ya agima ma ye hu ato 24-hour economy mrant ye be ya agima mama obe ya agima ye nya hu fi na do wa ta ni tumu krata no first ade obe sa no office ni sa krata no na busumi na okono krata no ye fra no ya mutu ye nti hu dibio nti MPP mpenyin fo yi misremo mo ye hwehwemo no ntem na mo ntutu nyama yie na 2028 yanti menji tumenu
okay
na fa ntuma pafla
meda say mamemfa di odun sudia beba choma ajo e
yeah jo my Jerry
yes sir yetio yanko
kakran pese me ka kire libra okun kansa ni se omana e wo mu emra wo se na obeka na sabudia Nigeria MPP mo betara position ache pa se pa na mgbe ka mo asem ye nim se ewu se bi se de ye bi pa ya kina se pa ye nim fie ku be ya ka se bi wu ka samu a ye wu ka yie o ma ya su me ya pre o mo MPP ya bre mu na mi sha
Nyamisha unso meba choma mwajo okay higher needs 100.9 number no is 0302243540 0302243540 na also yanje wadweche on the Facebook live we call Facebook no so let me see comment on the Facebook seems I'm not okay. Good. Mami far away. Beba chomajo. No. Went to mention so. All right. So 0302243540 or 0302257902. Now, when you say good evening, please. we need Yaya Kasim in Amasaman constituency. Okay, and then a message, I think, believe from Amasaman constituency. What is happening to our line? Are they so Tana? Is it raining? Okay, all right. Neat 100.9. So, Bebajo believes that we'll try not say Jamai. We don't know what is happening to the line. Let's see. Okay, right. If the line is jamming, main call and then me guest or Oba said American kind of share sapon and it is representing this about when to So now in your party, situation happening at our party headquarters at the final lap. Honorable Sarajo Asafo. Oko Hall, there was a challenge, and for that matter, the party Amana Mania, party force would there be. It was Asafo, or focus on again, and says Semakodoa, Ekoso. You being MPP member, it's also of it.
Jemeka Kakrafa, former MP, Honorable Sarah Asafo issue, no one say. I think sir, for I don't know entrance. Just as at the onset of our defeat, for in issue statement to our various platforms and say we should allow all party members to air their grievances. So that be a show mo be free or mo. I think that directive must be referenced this time around. And party members should also be mindful of the repercussions of their pronouncements, especially in the media. Because they say, Tachrema Empro. Tachrema Empro na ya kano. And it's a asuma minu edihun komone. They make biano mframa peke. And there were social media, the other can be a daho. And when you make any statement, 1,000 years to come, you will still be referred to those pronouncements. And I believe, sir, these are the considerations that both sides must make. And I believe, sir, at the end of the day, two good heads, and as a two good heads, when are put together, we'll be able to make an informed decision going forward to be able to put our party interests first instead of the individual banter between certain personalities in the party. No, it must be former MP said, "Omana koma embra from," and party leadership also. During the days of President Mahama, President Kufuor made a key statement. He said, "President Mahama is trying to kill a fly with a sledgehammer." Into this time and so, a sledgehammer and a fly, because whatever that comes out of that meeting, Ajasafo will still become an integral member of our party because he has been an MP for I think 3 consecutive times, being a deputy minister, a substantive minister, even the leadership of the party in the Parliament House, and so he has been a deputy majority leader before. Until say one grievances, I believe say as a lawyer, so when, how, and what to communicate at what point. Until as the maxims of communication states, on making sure say or employ all those maxims of communication. So
but you'll be able to open akasa
and cost pay on.
What akasa they say those?
Until I make us say the more than there, the more winning corner, the akano, the more who buy a party in 70. We can't na anti me say for Emma Ajubre Emra because yes say you see and tomorrow our bontia. At the end of the day, it will come back to haunt the NPP, not the individual. The individuals can decide to leave the party at any point, but the party remains the party, whichever pronouncement that may come out of that meeting. Mr. said, "On the magazine, me breakfast, me can't issue no answer. Not because Minifi can, but
I never would you my Mene national organizer can so more show so. You be an baby and answer address. I was say, Mark Jerry, cooking as some about it. Address for them.
Mitimine national organizer, I just said, dear, Ninam, a person I yedi. Na Injai honorables. No, it has nothing to do with the country. It has shared your Mahama. Yeah, party museum there. Yen hold on kakrana. Yen can't cocaine who some my bit.
What a final comment. Yeah, final comment. Yeah.
Enti, Medemasum eba we crackranum. Meda we be ase, Meda MPP supporters. Mukoso ata party nachi say Omuguswa eta party nachi BC this time. Achia muye. I know say dodo na ere aho omaboto. But Omunka say in 2017 this time we were enjoying massive support from Ghanaians than even NDC is doing today. Magdalena now Okroma 2017. Tama President Akufo-Addo winning Aba in 2017 around this time. Na bani budget so that time no abolish about 17 taxes. A lot of innovations Aba na free SHS Aba on board. Now one this one factory near Shasia. So many interventions are now Yediaba. We are enjoying the very good will of Ghanaians, better than even the NDC is doing today. But at a point, can't afford to say there be Yensem Kakana NDC formula. Momuhuni say NDC for better and move forever. Na Adibia our name said here Osenkafo Ekaya. Inti Omunkoso anta MPP party nechi. Na there are better days ahead of us. Bedum rebino. Ina ebenya muchefa de bia mitade ade we ede ye infanto se o kan bible ka kire se opani bia ese na katua but obade o se ejapade o me enye ho se ye nya hwenti ye support party ni bia efi se ye nye adwumayefo o party ni mum ye ema e party nim Ejapade wa MPP mono dachi yes abeka until let's keep hope alive. There are good things to come our ways no matter what we are facing today. Magdalena Medase
Musumeda say set of fair a member of the MPP National Communication Team or no ene babeka ye ho ene anwumre yede ejumedie friend Torchlight. Yeah, the bro, I will need 100.9. Na Sheba Sapon, a member of the NDC Communication Bureau, went to me and back. Yeah, you know about it to me and Bekayo. Maybe appropriate time, I mean, I don't mind. Bessentia. Na Yawada Manti, a year Bosumi, a year dear Siko. World Amputees Day, ya can't put here. Sir Obeshe. Na ye nu ebini etwa ne nan ye nu ebini etwa ne nsa o hawa wo mo fam o man e de ne ye de eboa wo madi dem obi wo ho a yare obi wo ho a kwanhia edo ti etwa ne nan etwa ne nsa nyame pa yawada ebedi ho ko me de Mark Jerry OSEI AGYEMAN me de aseda ma eye Okokuroko Francis, the producer, Otamachi, IK Echampon, Ebonichido, Dr. Faradexana, executive producer, General Manager Kennedy, as Antio said, and Enwich Sono, Kwasi Abuaje, the darling boy, on him is supervisor. Woman, the boy, me, I yet to be the brother will need 100.9. I mean, count home. Na yawada ebesenshi ochina ewukwada yede Wednesday's edition of Ghana Muntie anopa morning show she when to ya Ghana Muntie ebeje egum na me ma ahoden yes DJ Foreigner take over na na me pa ebesan